Hello?
Hello.
Oh, yo, how's it going? Can you hear me okay?
I'm trying to put get Discord set up on my computer so I can hear you better.
Okay, cool. No rush.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right, awesome. So you're just looking to play some games and see what I can pick out as far as like habits and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what's your Nintendo ID? I'll add you here.
It's here, I'll just type it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So where are you from?
Um the Midwest, specifically
cool.
St. Louis.
Awesome. And then who do you main?
I play couple characters, mostly Rosalina and Cloud and Bayo sometimes, but mostly Rosalina.
Okay, cool. All right, I have a room up. Is there any character that you want me to play like specifically? Like I play quite a few characters, so if there's a matchup that you're looking like for practice in or like anything specific, don't feel bad for asking. This time is definitely your time. I can probably just start with Ryu if you think that's what's easiest and see what I can pick out with him, but I know that's a kind of a rough matchup for Ryu, so I might not be able to pick out that much. And plus the Ryu matchup is just kind of weird.
Yeah. I forgot what I was looking for. Oh yeah, I need this because my gamepad is weird and doesn't work, so I have to use a Wiimote.
Yeah, I hope they make adding people and like that sort of stuff easier with Switch, because the whole way it works on this is pretty brutal. I wish you could just do it with your GameCube controller. If you have to take the Switch out of the dock to add people and go into like system settings and stuff, I'm going to be livid.
I hope not, but that's probably what they're gonna do.
It would be kind of par for the course for Nintendo, but I really hope not. A guy in chat is asking if you've been to Arkansas tournaments.
I've never been to out of state except for Smash and Splash 4.
Okay, cool. He said the tag looked familiar.
Oh, it's probably because I bought my Wii U from someone else.
Oh, okay. That would do it.
I actually go by Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what capture card are you using? I'm using the Elgato HD 60S. Wait, did you just start a game?
Did I?
I don't know. That's what I was asking you. I do have a room up.
Okay, so it says time until I can play again is
Wait, how much?
9 minutes.
Even on for friends?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I
guess, shoot, that's unfortunate. I'm trying to think if there's anything we can do during that 10 minutes that isn't... Like, do you have any VODs on any, like...
I should. Okay, this would be one.
Okay, let me see here. Alright, I will send... Let me open this up in... something that we can actually watch this together. You're at your PC right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This will work then. We'll do this for a little bit until... God. Sorry, I'm just getting stuff set up here. Okay. They changed the site that... Oh, here we go. So if you click on that link, it should be us watching it together in sync.
Okay.
Mouse, here it is. Okay, cool. So we'll just go over this for a bit. I don't know if you want to go over this whole set or if you want to if you just want to do this until you're done, but that's completely up to you.
We have about 6.5 minutes left, so
All right.
I would say just until then.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this is a matchup that's definitely Rosa favor.
I can already see my mistakes.
There's some little things, nothing like huge. The only like big thing against Lucas is you just don't want to let him PK fire your shield. When Luma's on
we got my boy Alaska versus,
that side,
Failwell.
Because he'll just, you know, that knocks away Luma at pretty low percent, and if you're anywhere near the side of the stage, that will definitely lose your Luma early.
Trying to get that screw over the mother boys tactic with Rosalina and Luma. He actually does have a win on card.
So you got that little opening earlier, and you did up air, and you tried to do another up air. And it seems like you're trying to keep him in the air. And I'd say for like Lucas and Ness both, if you can, just try and put them off to the side rather than up in the air. Which is what it looked like you were going for there. But just like whenever you can, if you're like in a position where you can kind of juggle, I'd say try and push them to the sides rather than keeping them up in the air if you can. Obviously getting something is better than getting nothing, but even in positions like that,
Just like forward throw.
yeah, just forward throw, get him off stage. Because getting him in a position where he has to use his recovery, like you're gonna do a lot more to him than you would just by like up throwing him and trying to catch something. So yeah, I guess there have been a few times that you haven't really been able to punish him off stage. So I'd say work on like actually like edge guarding in that sense, because like where you're going to get the most in this matchup is putting him off stage and then punishing his recovery really hard. And you've got him off stage a couple of times, but then he's just kind of got back on stage for free. And then even kind of gotten off ledge for free too.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. So yeah, you're doing a better job here of not getting, like not letting Luma get hit by PK fires. You're just kind of staying out of that range.
Basically, making Lucas seem so irrelevant, having all his moves just get completely destroyed.
That was good DI. That was really good DI on that.
Ooh, but here's the thing, Richie's brought it back. Now he's in the lead, 90 to 14%.
Yeah, so not having Luma is rough in this matchup for sure. I'd say that just make sure that when you don't have Luma, you're not afraid to use hitboxes still. Because as soon as you lost Luma, you didn't use like a single hitbox. And while it's not necessarily like, obviously you're better without, or you're better with Luma, and you want to be using Luma when you can. Part of defensive play is throwing out like offensive options when your opponent doesn't expect it to get stage control back and stuff. So don't be afraid to go for like grabs as well as like dash attacks or up smashes and stuff, even if you don't have Luma, just because he was kind of free to just run around the whole time when you didn't have Luma, you know? He was kind of like disrespecting you in a sense by just like walking all over you while you didn't have Luma, just because he knew you weren't going to try and punish him for it.
I think there's only one. Who'd you lose? Who'd you lose to?
Misinput.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know, he's really good. He also plays Rosaluma. That helps a lot. Rosaluma helps a lot.
Damn, Lucas jab sends Luma really, really far. I didn't know that.
Right now. He's so good.
So yeah, exactly like this. You don't have Luma, but you're still not afraid to kind of like keep him in disadvantage and use your like good juggling tools that Rosa has even on her own. That was really good. That's exactly what you should be doing when you don't have Luma. Kind of mixing up doing things and not doing things to kind of keep your opponent guessing. Those jabs are really good.
Oh, he's gonna be play. Ooh, going for the Zaire, trying to keep.
So yet again, that was like good, keeping him in the air and kind of juggling and keeping him in disadvantage. But you'll get much better punishes if that disadvantage leads him to off stage, and you're able to either absorb his up B or just like down air him, like Luma down air him with while he's like up being.
They're playing right now.
Because Luma down air will beat Lucas PK Thunder too.
This is actually a lot better for Richie right now. He was not able to actually get a lot of percent on Alaska.
Oh my god, that dash attack just sent Luma up. That was weird.
Showing that momentum might be in Richie's place right now. However, that does not mean that we should always stop.
Yeah, that was really good.
Looking at Alaska's advantage state right now, because right now Lucas is in the corner, and with Rosaluma just able to box him out, keep him, and put him off stage like that, that's definitely going to be able to show that Alaska's might be able to take it. But Richie, why is
okay, so yeah, I'd say just like the biggest thing in this matchup is just like every time he's been off stage, you haven't really been able to get anything. Just make sure to kind of wait for him to use his up B if you can, I guess you kind of have to read which option he's going to do, whether he's going to up B or whether he's going to side B to tether to stage. And once you read that correctly, you either have to go immediately to punish the tether or wait to punish the up B. And then also at ledge, like when he gets to ledge, you haven't really punished him. That's the second time I've seen you just go for kind of like a forward smash on neutral get up. And you have been reading the neutral get up right, but it just hasn't been connecting. So I'd say maybe try things that aren't like as committal as ledge coverage options, like maybe like jabbing to cover neutral get up. And then if they if they jump over it, then you can just like jump up air to cover it. Just like stuff like that that has a little bit less risk involved, but still would give you a good reward. Might not kill immediately, but it'll keep him in disadvantage and put him off stage again.
Mm-hmm.
When he has his own block for arms at this own tournament, yet he wants to push the agenda because he knows people watch Smash 4. Crooked TO. Just in different ways. Like, I collude brackets to make it so I play Spunk Man. Trip is just like, he runs tournaments.
That was a good landing.
Danny's gonna change the overlay now because I'm calling him out. Oh, not frame traps. Air dodge. He called it a tournament called Air Dodge.
So yeah, I'd say one thing to fool around with is just turning around before you shield. It's something that technically won't do anything. As far as like frames. It's like it'll take one frame longer to put up your shield. However, Luma will be protected behind you. So if you're trying to protect yourself from like PK Thunder or PK Fires like you're kind of doing here, it'll protect him from just kind of like knocking your Luma away, which kind of seems like what he's going for in neutral.
I'm so crooked.
Oof.
Yeah, that dash attack just knocking Luma off kind of was unfortunate.
Let's go crooked shoe.
But that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like just turning around to shield stuff like that dash attack just to protect Luma is like really important.
Ooh, trying to go for the down smash.
It's something that's kind of weird to like get into your muscle memory,
Oh, that's gonna be an
but
that's gonna be a 2-0.
it's definitely something that is important. You can see there at the end how
I hate Richie.
how yet again it was you going for like an edge guard and not being able to get anything off of it that kind of cost you there.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely say just like work on edge game specifically in that matchup, but I'm sure that that'll apply to a lot of other matchups. Just being patient and kind of reacting to your opponent's ledge options rather than trying to like call them out super hard.
Right. My Wii U stuff is working again, so
Awesome.
did we want to go to Smashville or?
It's honestly up to you. I just hit random, so whatever stage you want to go to,
Okay.
you've got it. Awesome.
Yep. No.
Yeah. So I'd say the biggest thing that I'm just noticing so far is just yet again that kind of like edge guarding thing. There were a couple of different times there where you went for edge guards and you went just like far to a point where you weren't actually able to, when you didn't actually get something off of them, then you were in a position to get punished. So I'd say just be really careful about how far you take your edge guards, like how hard you go for them. Like kind of be careful of the risk reward, because there were a couple of times where you went off stage with things that like even if they hit, they wouldn't have killed, and you could have just stayed on stage and tried for like a neutral get up coverage, you know, like just like a, or even just like shielding at ledge to try and cover stuff. So I'd say just kind of like try and weigh that risk reward a little bit, and don't go too hard if you don't have to, or if you don't have like a really good read.
Okay.
What? No. Did the doorbell ring? Oh, sorry. Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, that kills Rosa super early. So you see how just that like F smash is technically like something that would kill, but because it didn't work, you were the one who got punished for it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just gotta do it sometimes. But yeah, so that's the biggest thing I can see that's getting you punished, is just going for options just around the ledge that are too
Committal.
yeah, a little bit too committal for the reward you get. Technically, like technically the options that you're doing are options that are good and options that would work, but they're not hitting. So you either have to like be really sure and really confident on those options that you're going for, like the F smashes on ledge and like the down airs off stage and stuff. You either have to be really, really confident in those, that you're going to hit those every time, or you have to go for things that are less committal. And I think even just like picking different options a couple of times will definitely make those options even better. Because like right now I can kind of tell you're either going to do like one of two things, which is F smash ledge when you neutral get up, or you're going to go off stage with something. And it's like you only have those two options right now. But as soon as you make me start to think about even more options, then those two options that you're already choosing just get better because they're harder to predict. So things like staying on ledge and jabbing, or staying on ledge and trying to like grab neutral get up, or you know, like doing instant up air to cover jump, or instant down air to cover jump, just like that sort of thing. Just putting more options on the ledge into your repertoire will make those kind of like more committal options less, they won't make them less committal, but it'll make it less likely that your opponent will punish them. Because for me, it's like, if I'm not expecting you to F smash at ledge, I can't just like jump from the ledge and forward air you and get a punish off of it, right? If I'm like,
Right.
but if you do it and I don't expect it, I might like neutral get up and the timing might miss and I might not be able to get a punish or something, you know, like. But if I can predict it, then that's where you'll get punished really hard. So I'd say that's the biggest thing. And the other thing that's getting you punished a little bit, but this is like kind of a Ryu thing, is yet again just like turning around before you shield to protect Luma. Because like if Ryu hits Luma with like one forward air, Luma just like dies. So you have two options, which is either to turn around to protect Luma, or to just take the fact that Luma is going to get knocked back super far and get like a shield grab out of it. And I've seen people do both of those things and be really successful. So it just depends on what you value more, getting Ryu in disadvantage or protecting Luma.
So it's like mix up my ledge options, like ledge traps and stuff, and then also like protecting Luma.
Yeah, I'd say those are the two big things right now.
Ah,
Yeah, that was a little bit silly.
hmm. Ah.
Nice, that's good.
Hmm. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah. So earlier you did I neutral got up and you tried to do like falling fair to cover it, and yet again it missed and I was able to get a punish off of it. So it's just like you want to make sure that the options you're picking aren't like crazy committal, because even that like falling forwarder, while it might get you like a good punish, is like, it's just you want to pick less committal options so that your higher committal options that you don't use as frequently become less risky, I guess. If you're mixing up a whole bunch of high committal options, it's like, okay, well, the odds of you getting punished for some of these are pretty high, because it's like, I know you're going to do something high committal. I just time my get up to avoid whatever the high committal thing is and then punish.
Yeah.
But the low commitment options, you can actually just like wait and react. And I think the reacting is probably something that isn't happening quite as much. So I'd say practice like, you could do this with the training mode mod pack, or you could just do this like in friendlies and stuff is just don't go for reads on ledge options at all, and just try and react to them. So try and react to neutral get ups with jabs or grabs. Try and react to... You could even try and cover neutral get up with like one jab, and then if you see that they roll, I think you have time to turn around jab. So you could do that, and then if you see them jump, you can try and keep them in the air with up airs and that kind of stuff.
I guess a lot of it is just like fear.
On which side?
Like fear that even though I'm doing something like putting out jab, that a character like Ryu can just like jump off ledge and like nair into my shield. And
yeah, it's like, it's something that I guess the fear could be there, but for me, I'd be much more afraid of doing something like an F smash and then getting focus attacked and dying at like 50, rather than like jabbing and maybe getting like hit by like a forward air or something, you know?
yeah.
The punish you'll take by doing something non-committal is much lower than something like an F smash or something like that. So I'd say just kind of like trying to reorient that risk reward around the edge of the stage is something that will help you a lot. Because right now, like, even in that set that against that Lucas, there weren't many times that you were getting like punishes that, like, it didn't seem like Lucas was ever even like scared at the ledge there. It was like he was kind of like, okay, I'll get back to stage and I'm fine, you know? Whereas that should be a position where Rosa really walls you out, as well as really kind of like punishes you for being off stage in that difficult of a situation.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay, I think it's good. Oh. Oh, I lost my second witch twist.
previous inputs.
Nice. Okay, so you were doing like, I could tell you were trying to implement the like less committal ledge coverage options that game, but they weren't really like, like good options. So like you stood back and you did side B, and while it was something that like did cover my neutral get up and it was like low risk, it didn't really do anything in terms of like keeping me in disadvantage. So your job when you're like, when I'm in disadvantage, is to try and keep me in disadvantage for as long as I can, as long as you can. So in that situation, you really want to like do something like jabs to like push me back off stage, or forward throw to push me back off stage, or even like a back air on neutral get up, or like something that's like a little bit less risky. And you did that side B, and it was safe, and you got % off of it, and you didn't get punished. And then the next time I got up immediately, you did F smash again, and it got heel slided. And that heel slide is something that can definitely lead to death as far as Bayo is concerned. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd say basically just like making sure that you use options that are not committal but will also keep them in disadvantage is really important. Okay, that was really good. Okay, I'm guessing you were SDing up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, just be really careful about SDIing up near the blast zone. I don't even think that if you got hit by Witch Twist up air there, I don't even think it would have killed. But because you SDI'd up, you just popped out of the Witch Twist and died. Then also just like, I can tell that like the ledge trapping is something that you're kind of working on, so it's not something that like, this might be something that is just happening right now because you're not super sure what to do. But just be really careful about what options you choose, because right now you're often doing like nothing. So
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I did yeah, go for it.
When I was studying a lot of like Rosalina versus Bayo, I was taking a lot of notes from like DeBuzz, and like his approach to Bayo at ledge is pretty much to just stand at a distance and like not really. I mean, I guess he does mix it up sometimes. He gets closer so he can like punish neutral get up. So I guess I could implement that too. But that's what I saw a lot from him, was just kind of like holding back and like punishing whatever the Bayo did to get back on stage.
Yeah. And like technically I think like that's right, but like right now what's happening is you're standing at that distance, that kind of like roll distance, and then I'm neutral get upping and you're like rolling away. And just like giving back that stage control. So that's something that you really want to keep as Rosalina, and as every character, honestly. You want to keep that stage control so that you can kind of like slowly move backwards and use your more kind of like safe options, rather than having to like push forward with like not safe options, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And giving up stage control.
Awesome. Yeah, so like I think for the most part there, a lot of the time it was just, or like in I guess a lot of these games it's just like in most cases when I'm off stage, you're actually the one that ends up getting punished. So there were a couple of times that game where you got me off stage and then I immediately bouncing fish back in and you were just kind of like running right into it. I think you were trying to get to the position where you could ledge trap, but you were trying to like get there too fast, or you were trying to like get off stage to punish my bouncing fish before I used it. I'm not 100% sure, but basically that's I think the biggest thing is Rosalina's advantage state is super good, especially when you're like on ledge too, and I think you're just not getting enough out of it. And I'd say that's like probably the biggest thing to work on that I'm seeing so far. I'm not seeing like any like awful on stage habits. You're getting some good good grab pressure, good like you're using nair well. I'd say the biggest thing is just like getting your stage into that, or getting your opponent into that off stage position and then not knowing what to do after it.
Yeah.
See, that was really good. That's exactly what you should do. That was a lot better. Nice.
The fair.
Yeah. You can see how earlier I got up. You were trying to cover my get up with jump, or with, sorry, you were trying to cover my neutral get up with jabs, and rather than you getting like punished super hard for it, all I got was like a fair. And I mean, I guess part of that is being chic, but you can see just how like going for those non-committal options can get you a lot. Can get you a lot in a lot of this in a much safer way. And then also doing that one jab to like posture like you were gonna cover neutral get up, and then turning around and doing the jabs in the opposite direction was like super good. So I think that's something that is like basically what you should focus on. Kind of think about the matchups where you want to put characters off stage compared to the matchups where you want to keep people in the air. So like someone like Ness or Lucas, you definitely want to put them off stage, or Ryu, right? Because they have like those recoveries that are susceptible. Falcon, you know, those characters that have recoveries that are very easy to cover and very easy to edge guard. But then characters that have better recoveries or have like poor aerial mobility, like heavies, or have like bad air dodges, you want to try and like keep them up in the air. So kind of like think about that, and then make sure to try and improve on that ledge area, because I think that's the like biggest place where you're missing things.
Okay. Yep.
Nice.
Okay. No. Hmm.
Yeah, so this matchup is a matchup that I picked just because, like, it really shows how important protecting your Luma is. Because when you have him in the air, and he's trying to get down and you have Luma, it's super good, and it's really, really hard for him to get down to disadvantage. But there are situations where, like, at the very start of that game, I just flare blitzed immediately, and you were able to react to it, and you put up your shield, but it still killed Luma, because you didn't turn around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that, like, is really important to just kind of, like, start thinking about and just start kind of, like, implementing into your muscle memory, just because those sort of situations where you're gonna get hit by something or something's coming at you like that, that's kind of, like, inevitable, but you do have time to turn around and shield it to protect Luma. That's just one thing to kind of think about.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. So that's a little bit dumb. I could tell you were afraid of that because on the left side of the stage, you were at neutral get-ups. You were at neutral get-up range on the ledge on that left side, and you were holding shield, and I neutral got up, and you just immediately rolled away. So that's something that might be specific to the Ryu matchup, but there are other characters that have like similar things. Little Mac kind of has the same thing with wake up, side B, and then characters like Bea with Witch Twist and that kind of stuff. Don't be afraid to just like sit there and hold shield. It's like worst case scenario with Ryu, you get up, he does wake up Shoryu and you shield it, and then you get like a huge up smash punish or a huge F smash punish. But that's where you'd want to turn around in shield to keep Luma, and then turn around to punish again after the Shoryu happens.
Okay.
So it's definitely something that's like not easy to do. Like I think Rose is one of the harder characters in the game, especially for these sort of like little like micromanaging sort of things of Luma turning around before you shield. Like when do you turn around before you shield and when don't you? And that sort of thing. But I think it's something that is really, really important to just kind of like keep Luma alive. So yeah, that was a lot better than the last time, because the last time you SDI'd up and died to that. Nice.
I'm dead.
Yeah, so I like there was one time earlier where you did kind of like stand away from ledge, which is totally fine, and then you were able to punish my side B in with like a pretty well charged F smash. And that's exactly what you should be doing. That's a good example of like sitting in that position, knowing what you're going to cover with, and then punishing and having the timing right and everything. I understand that sometimes these like slight timings might be just off because of Wi-Fi. So that's something to kind of like think of too. But I'd say the biggest things to practice are just like advantage state when your opponents are off stage. And part of that is not overextending either off stage or just with things that are too committal. And then the other part of that is not letting your opponent get back on stage for free. So it's kind of finding the middle balance there, using a lot of different options to kind of like keep your opponent guessing. And then the other thing I'd say is just like protecting Luma as best you can. So trying to implement that kind of like turnaround shield is really, really important. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but it'll be something that will help you a ton. And I'd say those are the biggest things to focus on.
And the matchups that are like, do I juggle or do I like throw them off stage and try to keep them off stage as long as possible?
Yeah, that's another thing to think about. Because like, for example, like Fox, it's like if you keep him in the air, it's like he's kind of fast falling, you know, you probably won't kill him off the top that easily. But if you put him off stage like once and you have like good edge guards against him, he should just die regardless of the percent. So yeah, just be cognizant of which characters to, like what direction to send each character in attempts to get like the best advantage state. Because a lot of the time it's tempting to go up with Rosa just because you have Rosa up air, which is super good. But Rosa has a ton of other like super good edge guarding tools. Someone to watch that's super good at that is Kirihara. He's very, very good at taking people off like the sides of the stage. He's very good at knowing which way to send his opponents, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to watch somebody for that, that's definitely who I'd recommend. But yeah, do you have any last questions before we wrap things up here?
Are there any other like tips that you would have for like the Ryu matchup?
Yeah, I'd say the main thing is getting him off stage and making him burn his jump. If you can make him burn his jump off stage and he just has to Tatsu back every time, like you should just be able to either down air him out of it and kill him off the bottom, or Luma down air him and just kill him off the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd definitely say go for getting him off stage, and then you can either use Luma as a bait to punish Ryu. Like what some Rosas will do to me is they will let me fair their shield and fair Luma, and sometimes it'll even kill Luma and they're just okay with that, just to throw me off stage and get me in a position where they can just edge guard me. Or what they'll do is they'll turn around and shield to protect Luma and then just try and avoid my aerials. So there's two different approaches you can go there, and it's just whichever one you feel is more beneficial for the situation.
Yeah. Do you feel like in tech situations I should just like not really like run up at all?
You definitely don't want to be in a dash state, just because that's like you can't do anything in that dash state. If you're in the dash state, he'll definitely try and go for a true Shoryu. But definitely go for like punishes, you know? Like don't be afraid to just like,
if there's enough time, you can just kind of like, if there's time to shield.
Yeah, like you just don't want to be in your initial dash.
Okay.
Because the initial dash is where you won't be able to do anything. And I'd say like even sometimes just sitting there like where neutral getup would be and just like sitting in shield is something that would like is super good. Or even if you don't want to deal with like the potential of a Shoryu, you could do like lunar landing back air. Just like stuff like that where you won't quite be in like Ryu Shoryu range, but you'll still be able to punish him.
Okay.
Is the biggest thing.
Is it like grabbable?
Neutral getup?
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's hard, but it's definitely something that you can do with practice. I play against Tweak a decent amount, and every time I play against him, I'll try and do like neutral getup Shoryu like over and over and over again on ledge, and he will consistently grab it, which is ridiculous. Like the timing on it is pretty strict. The fact that he's able to do it is pretty crazy. It's definitely difficult, but it's possible, and it's something that's really important in that matchup.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Yeah, and if you have any more questions or anything, feel free to DM me on Twitter and let me know.
Okay, awesome.
All right, take it easy.
Thanks.